Welcome back once again. This is Mr. Spinks. We are in section 5.2, and this is the second video of section 5.2. Talking about subtraction and multiplication in this video. So here we go. Starting off, subtracting is the same operation, actually theoretically, as addition. Now, I point this out because we really struggle with subtraction, and I want you to take this video seriously. All of the examples you do on your own, and then check my answers, because I don't think you're as good as you think. Most kids aren't. So here we go. To subtract two integers, really the easiest way to do it is to change the subtraction sign to addition and take the opposite of the second number. So, taking our example down here. In our example down here, it says 6 minus 13 is the same thing as 6 plus negative 13. Turns it into addition problem, and you can look at it and go, all right, well, the negative is bigger, therefore the result is going to be negative, and come up with an easier answer. Works pretty easy, actually. So, let's start on these examples. Starting out, it says negative 8 minus negative 2. And again, the best way to do this is to stop this video right now, do all the answers yourself, and then check whenever you're done. So I would do that. I would pause it right now and answer all these questions, and then when you come back, the answers will be there, and see how you do. Or don't, and just get it wrong when you come back to class. Your call. But you'll be expected to do this without a calculator. Let me emphasize that, without. Tomorrow when you come back, your starter will be without a calculator. Got to know how. So starting here, I am going to do what I said. I'm going to change the subtraction sign to addition. So negative 8 plus, and I changed the sign of the back number. So instead of negative 2, now it's positive 2. And it ends up just being negative 8 plus 2. So as we look, what's negative 8 plus 2? Well, as I look at negative 8 plus 2, I once again check the sign. The sign of the bigger number is negative. 8 is bigger than 2. It has the negative on it. The result's going to be negative. And then I just think, if I was at negative 8, if I went forward to negative 7 to negative 6. Negative 6 is the answer. Going to play the same game over here on B. I'm going to change the subtraction sign to addition. So that turns to addition. And I'm going to change the sign of the second one. So it ends up just 12 plus 13. That's just an addition problem. 12 plus 13. Two positives had to be a bigger positive. I've got 25. Moving on, 9 minus 15. Same game. We are going to change the subtraction sign to addition and take the opposite of the back number. Turns into 9 plus negative 15. Now, I look at signs here. The result here must be negative because 15 is the bigger number and it's a negative. In combining them, 9 plus negative 15 is a negative, and it is negative 6. Moving on, same game here. Once again, change the subtraction sign to addition and change the sign of the back one. Negative 6 plus 6. Well, they're the same number. One's negative, one's positive. They must add to be 0. Moving down here towards the bottom, we've got negative 7 minus 14. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to write it as negative 7 plus negative 14. I notice I am adding two negatives at this point, and the result will be a bigger negative. So negative 7 plus negative 14 must be, I've got negative 21. Same game. Change the subtraction to addition. Change the sign of the back one. Look at them. It's a positive and a negative. What is the result going to be? Well, the bigger one's positive, so the result must be positive. Negative 10 plus 28 is 18. Rolling down here to the bottom. On the bottom one, same thing. Change the addition sign or change the subtraction sign to addition and add the opposite to the back term. Looking here, we're combining a positive and a negative. The result here must be positive because 24, the bigger number, is positive. So it's 24 plus negative 19. I've got 5. Last one, change the subtraction sign to addition and take the opposite of the back term. That makes this 0 plus negative 14. I've got negative 14. That's your subtraction. So we were going to talk about subtraction and multiplication in this video. Now that we're past subtraction, we move on to multiplication. When multiplying two numbers, two integers, if the signs are the same, if they've got the same sign, that be a negative times a negative or a positive times a positive, the result will be positive. Whereas, if we go down here, if the signs are different, the answer must be negative. That means if you take a negative times a positive or a positive times a negative, the result will be negative. Same sign positive, opposite sign negative, always when we're dealing with multiplication. A couple special cases here. Anytime you multiply times 0, anything, I don't care what it is, when it is multiplied times 0, the result will be 0. 0 cancels out everything. Anything times 1 is that initial thing you multiplied, so a times 1 will be a. Just a couple of basic simple cases there with multiplication. Now, same game here. I want you to pause the video and write out all of your answers on here and come back and I'll answer them for you. But it's the easiest way. And once again, no calculators. I won't give you one for the starter tomorrow. All right, hopefully you're back. Now we're going to multiply. 7 times negative 6. They have different signs, so the result must be negative. 7 times 6 is 42. Moving on. This is negative 8 times 6. So negative 8 times 6, once again, they have different signs. The result must be negative. 8 times 6 is 48. Moving down here, negative 9 times negative 3. I notice they have the same sign. They're both negative, so it must be positive. Negative 9 times negative 3 is the same as 9 times 3, which is 27. Moving on, 7 times negative 4. Well, this is a positive times a negative. They have different signs. The result must be negative. And 7 times 4 is 28. Moving down here to the bottom, we have 12 times 7. Well, they're both positive numbers, so the result must be positive since they have the same sign. 12 times 7 is a tougher one, but it's actually going to end up being 84. And here on our last one, number H. As we look at it, it's a negative times a negative, which is a positive, and 11 times 11 is 121.